Adeoye. Don't forget you can be a part of our platforms through these addresses. Official Maestro Petals, that's for Telegram. Official Maestro Petals. On WhatsApp, the number is 070 555 66624. 070 555 66624. The website address is www.petals1023.com. www.petals1023.com. And to download the Petals FM application app, the Petals FM application, please head to your Play Store or the Apple Store. Adebisi Ogunjimi is here with me this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining me on the show.
Always a pleasure.
We will continue with the story or the updates surrounding the Ibadan explosion. And I have this one from the Daily Post. People working for Malian illegal miners have explosives in their apartment. This is from a former lawmaker in Oyo State. A former member of Oyo State House of Assembly, Barrister Muhyiddin Olalekan Olaguju, has warned that there is a possibility that people working for illegal miners in Ibadan have explosives in their rented apartments. His statement was made available to Daily Post. He said more on Ibadan explosion. Reveals that Sawani Yusuf, of which we've been hearing yesterday, he said that Sawani Yusuf and 3 others, including a Nigerian registered company called SDYB, are engaged in mining activities in the state. He added that Yusuf and the 3 others are the directors in the company involved in the illegal mining. The former lawmaker noted that Yusuf has many people working for him in the Bodija area of Ibadan. In his words, I can authoritatively inform that the explosion in Ibadan is the handiwork of a Malian immigrant engaged in mining operations in Okeogun area of Oyo State. His name is Sawani Yusuf. He has been stockpiling explosives in a house for years. These explosives is stored for the purpose of his extensive mining business. How he was able to do that in a residential area is questionable. To think that the location is just alright. I think this was the same one we read yesterday. But this person that his name has been mentioned multiple times now, from Wednesday till now. Where is he? How come we've not heard of his arrest? Or I know that the police has issued an arrest warrant for those that own the building where that explosion really happened. But where is this person?
We are not even sure yet, because this is not coming from the police. It's not coming from the police, and the much we heard from the governor was that this can be traced to the activities of illegal miners, and that's the much that we have. And the governor has said that perpetrators will be brought to book, and they are going to do everything possible to ensure that they actually get those behind this dastardly act. But I think I will wait for the police really to state this officially, that this man, this Sawani Yusuf, was actually responsible for it. Because if you look at many other stories flying on the social media, there was one that said, it was credited to one of the neighbors who said there was a fire outbreak, that when these people, that is Sawani and his family members, when they saw the fire and they knew what they had in the house and the possible outcome of that fire, that they ran out of the house without informing their neighbors. And the neighbor said he was saved from that incident because he came out to help put out the fire.
In his neighbor's house.
Yes, so when there was this outbreak, according to that report now, Sawani and his family members and every other person in that apartment had run out. So as we speak now, we can say, if we are going by that report, they are on the run. And you don't know where they are. And the police has not even issued, I don't think the police has issued any warrant of arrest on them.
Just
the
on
owner.
those.
We don't even know if the apartment was rented or bought.
But according
by him.
to the residents in that area.
So if he bought the apartment, then he should be the owner of the apartment. So we really don't have much information on this, Tony, and I would just want us to be very careful because we've been, I've even seen one man that said if he's going to talk about his experience in Iraq and Afghanistan, apparently he's trying to make us believe that he's a military personnel. I said that okay, what he saw on that day, what he saw in that place is not a dynamite exploding. Yes, he said that was IED in action. That if we zoomed into the epicenter, that it was, he said a lot according to his profession. That is quote and unquote now because I don't know the person. But we have to just be careful because we do not, we've had different figures flying around 15 dead, 70 injured, 5 dead. I think the official statement is that 5 people have died, 2 before, and 3. I think 3 more joined yesterday when they were taken out of the under the rubble. So we just have to go by what the official statement is. This Sewani Yusuf has not been mentioned by the police. He has not been mentioned by the state government. It's just social media that has dug it out and talking about him. And I've even seen an interview that the Tribune ran on him, did for him some years back, where he talked about a lot of things. And you also heard that different petitions were seen on the scene of that incident. So which means that people have been writing the police about him. If these reports are anything to go by, people have been writing the police about him. They petitioned him. I think the land association too. So we just have to wait, Tony. We cannot go to town with what we see on social media because there is the police and there is the government, and they are the ones that can authoritatively speak on this.
Now, there's this unfortunate one. A popular hotel in Ibadan, BON Hotel Nest, has lost its operations manager. He was said to have died of a heart attack after the shock from the explosion that occurred very near the hotel. Alright. Now, the management of the hotel on its social media page described the late worker as a selfless and dedicated worker who had been using his 25 years in the industry for the growth of the organization. Now, the shock of the sound, I don't know how close the hotel is to the area of the incident.
It's quite close.
Very close. Yes. So I'm sure it's not just the sound that must have even caused the shock to him. Also the effects.
The tremor.
Yes, the tremor. It's so sad.
Yeah, people actually said they heard it as far back as 1 year. People heard it they said they heard it at Olita Challenge. And those are extremes of the city. They heard at Apata, they heard at Olita Challenge, they heard at Moniya, so it was huge. And you saw the video we saw on TikTok too.
Yes,
those guys that were just making their video, and all of a sudden the noise and their roof shifted. That's just the very minor effect of it. You saw that drone shot, that drone picture. You saw it. You saw the roofs that were affected. You saw the glasses that were affected. So it was massive. It was massive, and we also sympathize with those who lost their lives. We sympathize with the management of that hotel and the family of the man that died. It's very sad for everyone. It's very sad for everyone. I've had people calling me to ask him. Yeah. So it's those alive will just thank God and pray for those who died.
Now, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has revealed that some investigators in the anti-graft agency received bribes and compromised the fight against corruption in Nigeria. He announced this on Thursday. He said he described the situation as embarrassing for the anti-graft agency. He said the Department of Internal Affairs has been directed to be more adherent in its work and monitor every staff in all their engagement. If if the EFCC knows that there are officials who engage in taking bribes while conducting their activities, shouldn't those guys be dismissed? Or maybe not dismissed, because I mean everybody needs their job these days so as to survive. Maybe be made known and given punishments.
Yes, I think that's what the commission is talking about. They are going to start to watch everyone. And if you are caught, we have established that everyone is a thief. It's not that, yeah, so it's when you are caught. So I think people will have to just be careful these days. We all know that everyone is trying to make ends meet, and we all know that things are well. Let me just say things are easy. Let's be positive. Things are easy on everyone, and the truth of the matter is the person you are even forcing to pay a bribe is not finding it easier than you are. See, we are in this situation together. I've always said if anyone offers you anything to thank you, you can take. But that's not you asking for bribe. It's not you asking for bribe. It's not you forcing people to pay you before you before you carry out your responsibilities and your duties to them. You are an officer. You want to check something, you want to give me something. You don't have to hinge your responsibility on what you are supposed to do, on what I'm going to give you. No. If you do it to my satisfaction and I feel like saying thank you to you, see, no one is going to arrest anyone for that because there will be no hard feelings. Mm-hmm. Okay, you have done something good for me. You have helped me in a way that I feel, wow, if not for you, it would have not been easy. Or you really did your job. You discharged your duties very well for me. I'm impressed. And I have something to just give you for soft drinks. I'm free to give. Then you are free to collect without any fear. But when you begin to insist or you begin to insinuate that people should know that they should part with something before you do your job, that is where we have the problem. So we have to be careful. Everyone has to be careful. We are all in this situation together. That person that wants to part with something too is not finding it easy. So do your job. When you do your job well, if anyone wants to thank you, they thank you with whatever. See, some people have the capacity to even give you more than you are asking for as bribes. If you impress some people, they can even do more for you than you are asking for as a bribe. So how much are you asking for? You're asking for 10,000, you're asking for 20, 50, 1 million. Some people can give you more. In connections, they can give you more even in cash. If you impress them well, if you do your job well, and you don't hassle them. So I think that's what the EFCC is going to be on the lookout for. Maybe if their officials are reported or they are caught in the act, then you face the music.
A cybersecurity specialist has advised the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to devise methods of reorienting arrested, educated online fraudsters to become information technology specialists. According to him, this strategy is better rather than allowing them to languish in detention or undergo destructive solutions. He said knowledge can be categorized into positive and negative. Even if there were many educated young men among the cyber fraudsters, the inherent knowledge was at variance with the ideal positive knowledge needed for societal development. Now, the summary of all he's saying is this online fraudsters that are arrested, instead of just leaving them in the detention centers to languish and then when they've served their time, they are released to society to become nuisances. Why not the EFCC bring them into the system and use them as IT specialists?
It is what people have always advocated, and people will tell you that they are forced to work for the government because I think that it's kind of it's I think it's usually a condition for them to be released. That you are going to work, you are going to do this, you are going to help us track this, you are going to help us track. I think that is how it works. But how many people are willing to do that in Nigeria? And even if they are willing, how many of them can we incorporate into the system? How many? And even the system that you are talking about, how sophisticated is that system? Okay, these people, they are internet fraudsters. You believe they are so good in IT. How sophisticated is our IT system that you are going to be incorporating all of them that are caught after serving their terms? They will come out and you are going to employ them. I don't think we have that capacity really. I do not think so. Don't. Well, I don't know. Really, okay, now if they are going to go to, okay, where will they go to? They either go into the police, they work as intelligence for the police, they work as informants, they work in the IT department of the police, or INEC, or EFCC, or ICPC, or even the army. So, how many of them? I'm asking again. Remember the Ife, University of Ife raid, the last one that the EFCC had. You know how many of them were arrested?
Yeah, they picked 56, but yeah, 56, but most of them were not.
Okay, so let's say maybe 50 of them. Okay, 10, 15 of them. Do you know how many times they have been arresting these boys? Do you know how many boys they have arrested even in Ibadan here? Do you know how many of them? I don't think we have the capacity to. And see, the truth of the matter is, some of these boys, they are not as good as you think they are. Don't forget that there is Yahoo Plus. So so it's not really all about them, their intelligence. It's not always about how good they are, how good they are on the internet. No, 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 no. It's not. Sometimes they add other things, and sometimes they just rely on luck to get these people to pay them. So that's my opinion really. I don't think we have the capacity to incorporate all of them. And even if we want to incorporate them, how many of them are willing to be incorporated? You know, some people, you help them get a job, they don't even want to stay on the job. They don't even want to do the job. They are used to this daily money. Are you going to be paying them as like that they are being paid if they are doing their thing on the internet? Is that how you are going to pay them? No, but they want to be paid. They are used to that money. They are used to just getting online and just scamming somebody and getting dollars. They are used to it.
Now we've had a rise in the kidnap of people in Nigeria, in the FCT in Benue, and luckily we've had our security operatives swift have have this swift movement to rescue people. We had I think 13 people rescued in Benue. One was rescued in Abuja while the process of kidnapping he or she was on. Now I am back to this paying of ransom, this crowdfunding for people who are abducted in Nigeria. The chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, Kaduna State Chapter, Reverend Joseph John Hayeba, said that it would only be wrong to pay ransom if the government would secure the people. The cleric's response was a statement was in a statement to a statement the Minister of Defense, Badar Abubakar, made that it was an offense to pay ransom for the release of kidnapped victims. Speaking to newsmen in Hausa, the minister alleged that it was the publicity given to the donation gathered to pay ransom for the release of Abuja kidnapped victims that emboldened the terrorists to demand more. However, I have told Vanguard correspondent that we have reported kidnapped incidences to security agencies, but they would advise us to continue to dialogue with the bandits. And we keep doing this with no help from the security men. Those who speak against payment of bandits are saying so because they do not have first-hand experience when their family members, wife, children, parents, or someone close to them, when someone close to them or is a victim, they will understand the pressure of those paying ransom to do so. The psychological trauma both primary and secondary victims go through is not what you want your enemy to experience. Victims of banditry go through painful torture, humiliation, abuse and all forms of inhumane treatment. And I think I understand why the minister is saying not to crowdfund for victims to be released, because it's going to ginger them to want to take more people, because either you pay or not, either you have money or not, some people want to donate money to have you released. But what this bishop is saying also, I mean the reverend, I think he's also selling his own point from his point of view.
Yes, he's selling his point, and his point is very germane, very important. But Tony, what would you have these people do? What would you have them do? I think I'm also against publicizing this fundraising. But how do you want to go about it? How do you want to go about raising 50 million naira if you don't have it? How would you go about it? That you will have to announce to the people, you will have to ask around. And in this case, this was 5 children and their father. I think their father made them 6. 6 children and their father. So what would you have them do? Now they released the father. The father would have even preferred they held him back and released his girls. But they knew what they were doing. It was psychology on the man. They released him. So how do you want the man to feel knowing that his 6 children are there? Now they have killed one of them. Of his children, because they killed other people too. And we cannot just be blaming the victims. These people trying to raise funds, trying to raise the ransom, they are the victims here. How would you want them to behave? He has said it all. The victims go through hell, and their relatives are also going through equal hell. It's really it's hard. It's hard. We are between the devil and the deep blue sea. You don't know what to do. The police is telling you not to engage them. The police is telling you not to pay the ransom, but the kidnappers are promising you, they are threatening you, they are telling you, okay, that if you pay, they will release. If you don't pay, they will kill. So what would you do? What would you do? Now people have resorted to just finding means to raise this ransom and going to pay them. And what do we have sometimes? They even kill the person that is bringing the ransom. Sometimes they even take the ransom and they still do not release the victims. So we cannot continue. We have to just beef up security. Yes, there's been the increase these days, and I really don't know why. I don't know why. It's like they are really out to frustrate this new administration. It's like they are out to show that, okay, we are here. Let's see what you can do. Let's see what power you have. Let's see how far or how good you are as as a government. And I think our security agencies should step up too. We are tired of excuses. We are tired of hearing about the rains. The rain was not. We don't want to hear that. They should justify the confidence. They should justify the funds. They asked for budget we have given. They should justify it. They should work. They should put in their best. Because I would not say now, I would not sit here and say they are not trying. I will not sit here and condemn them. No. But we are asking that we do more. We are asking that we protect ourselves more, because the pains and the agony of kidnapped victims. There was one I read yesterday. He said 3 people kidnapped. They are appealing to the state governor and President Bola Tinubu. They said the kidnappers gave them till yesterday to pay up the ransom. So what, what would you have them do? So if they have a means to raise, to do crowdfunding, to do GoFundMe, if they have the means to, you think they will not do it? They will do it. They will do it, because you cannot imagine it as a parent or as a child, you can't imagine it.
Now, we have some of our security agency operatives who are actually working hard. Now, this lady posted, the Nigerian Army reacted to it with the hashtag Thank a Soldier. The lady posted that this soldier on a bike told my bus driver, apparently a Sienna vehicle had kidnapped somebody. So this soldier on a bike told my bus driver to corner the Sienna 3 vehicles away from him because he suspects he's a kidnapper. After the Ikeja intersection, the soldier instructed big buses in front to block the road. They caught the Sienna driver. It be like film. The only thing that pissed me off was the people inside the bus vexing that they are going to work, and that the soldier was wasting their time. We're talking about a kidnapping issue. Human lives are involved, and you're talking about work. Nigerians need mental evaluation. So someone asked, were they actually kidnappers? And the person replied, yes. Now imagine. Thank God the soldier maybe cited or suspected something was funny in the bus and he was able to direct people around to block the Sienna vehicle and that person would have just gone.
And I think they rescued the person.
Yes, they were able to rescue the
That's
person.
good.
Now,
That's good.
January 15th is the Remembrance Day for our soldiers. Now, a former member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Daniel Reyeneju, who represented Warri Federal Constituency, has said it is unfair for only members of the armed forces to be celebrated every January 15th. Reyeneju stated that civilians were also victims of the January 15th, 1966 coup d'etat, stressing that their memory and sacrifices deserve acknowledgement. He said, paradox that those who are often seen as the instigators of our downfall are still celebrated today. Indeed, it is a poignant truth that the event of today, January 15th, known as Armed Forces Remembrance Day, is celebrated annually. This day is dedicated to remembering the soldiers who, in a twist of irony, toppled the civilian government and caused the demise of numerous individuals in power. It's a day that marks a significant shift in our history, a shift that many argue initiated our decline. It is indeed a paradox that those who are often seen as the instigators of our downfall are still celebrated today. This celebration, in many ways, seems to overlook the civilians who were also victims of this tumultuous period. It raises the question who remembers them, who honors their memory and the sacrifices they made. It's a question that lingers in the air, unanswered as we continue to commemorate this day. How might the descendants of Okutiebo, the Akintolas, the Sultan of Sokoto, the Tafawa Balewas, etc., perceive our celebration of Armed Forces Day on January 15th? What emotions might stir within them as Nigeria commemorates this day? What's your take on this? That on January 15th, the Remembrance Day, soldiers are celebrated, but that civilians were victims of the coup d'etat that happened on January 15th, 1966, and celebrated and remembered that it's unfair.
Well, I honestly don't know what is unfair. If you want to celebrate or remember anyone that died, we have these notes, we have these days in history. If you choose to celebrate them, I think this, our military is we are strong. Our military is kind of strong in Nigeria, and we have not been able to really detach from that military as in what do they call it now? Ìjọba ológun. We have not really been able to detach from it. When we are even swearing in our president, our governors, you see, we have the guards, they have to inspect the guards of honor and all that. But I think nothing stops us from celebrating the victims. If he is talking about, this celebration is for the soldiers that fought and died. We are not talking about other people that were killed. This armed force of the men, that is what it is. He should not say that it's not fair that we are remembering when we are. If he wants a special day set aside to remember the victims, those who died, not the military personnel now, those who died or who were killed in this coup. And then he should just advocate for it. He should ask. And there can be a movement to ask for it. And if it's justified, there is. See, there was a time we were talking about June 12 as our democracy day. We asked, people raised reasons for it. Then the then government saw that okay, this is reasonable, and it was changed. So it can actually start it. You can start talking about it with good reasons, and if it gains much traction and people see that okay, this makes sense, we can actually set out a day, or even as we celebrate this military personnel that died, our fallen heroes on this day. Then let's talk about what do we call them? We can actually, yes, we can actually get a name for them too, and we celebrate them together. But I think we are this day really in our minds, in the history of the country, we are celebrating everyone. I think personally, I think that is what it is. It's a day to celebrate uh, everyone who fell and everyone who fought on that day and those who died. And we are still even celebrating those who lived because some of them will go there, they will recount their experiences and they are celebrated. So I think I'm not going to say that it's wrong. I'm not going to say it's right. I'm just saying that, okay, if he feels that way, that's how he feels. He can just put it out there like he has done now and begin to advocate for it. He can actually get a kind of vanguard for it and begin to talk about it. And if he has really, really good points to back it up, he might just get a day for it.
Now, Chief Edwin Clark has taken a swipe at the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, saying his 8 years rule was biased, unjust, despotic, uncivil, and filled with religious bigotry. In a statement on Thursday, Chief Clark was reacting to remarks by the former president in Abuja at the public presentation on Tuesday of a book titled Working with Buhari, Reflections of a Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, written by Femi Adesina. According to the elder statesman, what struck him the most during the presentation was the attitude and statement of former President Buhari, who eulogized his achievements as president of the country during the occasion, adding that what he said was contrary to the assessment of majority of Nigerians of his administration. The South leader, who disagreed sharply with Buhari, said that to most Nigerians like him, he failed abysmally as president, just as he stressed that his administration was full of insecurity, economic collapse, injustice, religious bigotry, and lack of direction. In the words of the elder statesman, I watched the public presentation of a book titled Working with Buhari. Now, written in 5 volumes by Femi Adesina and others, chronicling activities, achievement of Buhari during the 8 years of his administration as president and commander-in-chief of the country, as contained in about 80 pages of the 488-page book. What struck me the most is the attitude and statement of former President Buhari, who eulogized his achievement as president. This, I must say, is contrary to the assessment of majority of Nigerians of his administration. To most of us Nigerians, Muhammadu Buhari failed abysmally as president. His administration was full of insecurity, economic collapse, injustice, religious bigotry, and lack of direction. The 8 years of his administration plunged Nigeria and Nigerians 5 decades backwards. Even his successor, the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, noted as much in his speech at the time, the occasion where Buhari was eulogizing himself. For me, this will not be the first time I'll be making this observation. In almost 12 pages farewell message I wrote to Muhammadu Buhari on the eve of his existing as president of the country, I said as much, and I wish to reproduce some parts of the right. Now I think I should just go to what he's saying exactly. That the former president eulogizing himself and praising himself for his 8 years ruling the country is wrong. He didn't do as much as he was praising himself.
Okay, now what does he expect? I think we should just allow the former president to rest. Honestly, see, he did what he always calls his best. So we should just accept that that was the best he could give. Even though I always wonder if so that was what he wanted to give when he kept trying and trying to become president. So that was what he had up his sleeves. Well, it wasn't enough for us. It wasn't much, really. But that was it. He had done his best. He had given us what he had. See, of everything we have been talking about, we have not really been able to pin any form of corruption to this man directly. Tony, let's be sincere. We have not heard it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I do not know. But we have not really read or seen or heard anyone saying, okay, I gave this amount of money, or the president asked me to sign this amount of money in his name.
Well, he has told them not to even call his name before he left.
So, because there is no reason to call his name. That is just the truth. Because this Farouk, this humanitarian affairs saga, if there had been time that, okay, the former president had asked that some amount be transferred into his personal account, or I'm sure they would have mentioned it. But really, we have not heard. If there is any, they should just come out and say it already, really. But this man gave his best. His best was not enough for Nigerians, and it's why we are here today. So we have a new government. He has come out severally to tell you what he did. He had told you it's not easy to govern Nigerians. He said it. The man, I'm sure he didn't know it would be that hard. Maybe he thought it would be as it was when he was military. But now he was a civilian government. He was a civilian president. He had limited veto powers. He had limited. He could not, as a military man, you could do a lot. But as a civilian president, what could you do? So he didn't really have it the way he wanted it. He would have wanted it. So he couldn't do much. Remember the few times he would speak, we would always sit here and pick holes. We would always see something in what he says. And the times he wasn't speaking, we would always say he wasn't speaking. So that is him for you. He has done his own. For the 8 years that he was there, we were there with him. So now he is gone. What do you want? So he should come out and tell you that he failed, that he didn't do well as a president. No, he won't say that. He will tell you where he did well. He might not tell, he might not even touch where he didn't do well. He will always project. And there are people around him. Garba Shehu is there. Our own Mr. Femi Adesina is there. Even wrote a book. To tell you how much he rated or he rates this former president. So that's what it's about. I don't think we expect him to start saying he didn't do well. He did his best. He gave his best. Okay. Now, if his best is not enough for you, you have a new president. You have a new president that you voted into power. So let them start to work.
Now, the Labour Party presidential candidate in the last election, Mr. Obi, has described as surprising the approval of 3 billion naira by the current administration for verification of National Register of the Poor, saying it could only happen in Nigeria. He said the equivalent amount spent for verification exercise would have made a significant impact if prudently and transparently managed. He wondered why such a huge sum was approved for just verification of National Register of the Poor, when the same amount could have been directed towards actual poverty alleviation. Is it true that it could only happen in Nigeria?
That's what.
That 3 billion naira is approved for verification of the National Register of the Poor.
That's what we say. I don't know if they don't have. Do we know how much they approve for all these their social security work that they do? We can't sit here and just be saying that. Even if we have been there, you can't just conclude that it can only happen in Nigeria. Do you know how much they approve for themselves to do stuff to? We can't say that they don't approve. What we can say is how it is done. The implementation is what we can criticize. If they tell you they need 30 billion naira to do something, if they can justify the need for it. See, we kept saying it, that this woman, this humanitarian woman and disaster ministry woman, the way she was disbursing, we were always at it. How can you claim to disburse such huge amount of money within hours? And we always asked for data. You know, this one, Better Edu, they said she even got data, that she got names posted. And even the local government chairman, the traditional ruler of that local government, said he doesn't even know the names of the people that are posted on the list. So she took it a notch higher from no data. She got some data, but the data didn't dey. So we can't say that it's only in Nigeria that they approve such amount. What we can talk about is how we implement.
We have Alhaji Atiku here. He has hailed Wednesday's judgment of the Federal High Court declaring the imposition of fines by the National Broadcasting Commission on broadcast stations illegal, null and void. In a statement signed by his media office on Thursday, Atiku said the ruling of the court will go a long way to enhance the constitutionally guaranteed rights of Nigeria to free speech. According to him, I have read reports about the judgment by a federal high court presided over by the Honorable Justice Rita Ofidi Ajumogubia concerning the proprieties of the NBC issuing fines to broadcast stations upon their editorial content. I am happy to announce my support for the judgment of the court. I am even happier that the said judgment will further boost the ethos of democratic norms in our body politics. While I commend the court for this bold decision, it is adequate that we all recognize the courage of the media rights agenda for having tested our laws on this draconian practice by the regulatory body. Now he's praising the ruling of the court that the NBC shouldn't issue fines.
But really, Tony, can we rightly say that it's draconian? See, everything needs regulation, and it is stated there. I think what we can do is probably amend some of this, the constitution of the NBC. I think we can just look at some of the items on the list and amend as appropriate. We cannot say that you should not regulate. Okay, and now if you are seen or perceived to have flouted a rule, what should be done to you?
Supposed to bear the consequences.
You have to see. You cannot just leave people to run loose. Some people cannot caution themselves. So the only thing that cautions some people is the fear that there is a regulatory body, there is a superintendent that is listening and has the capacity to punish me. We can't just open the microphone for people to just. Some people can set the whole country on fire. You give some people 10 minutes to talk on radio, they can set the whole country on fire. So if such happens, who is going to be responsible for it? What will be the role of the NBC if such happens? What are you going to say? I don't believe that. The judgment has gone, but maybe the NBC is going to appeal it, because I honestly don't even understand why you want to ask that she should not be fined. Let's amend. When should you be fined? For what should you be fined? And how much should be the fine for what offense? That's what we can amend. Okay, maybe the fines, the money is too much, the amount huge. Okay, maybe we'll reduce it. Or maybe the time given is short, or I don't know what is called now, the instances now. Maybe it's your third time, it's your fourth time, we have warned you. How many warnings do you get before you are slammed a fine? Because we can't just be going without caution. There must be a leash. There must be a leash. You have to leash people. If you don't leash people, there will be trouble. There will be trouble. Even your pets that you have, you don't leave them. They will run haywire. They will run all over the place. They will run you down. So that's why you leash them. That's why you caution them. You call them. They should be. I don't know why we don't want it. I honestly do not know. I don't have any problem with it. It puts you in the right place. You are seated here. You know that, okay, someone is listening. There are things I should say. There are things I should not say. And as a professional yourself, you should know what you can say. You should know how you can say it. Even if you have a guest in the studio that is running amok, you as the presenter, who is supposed to be the professional in the studio, should know when to caution your guests. Because I know that once you caution your guests, you don't get any fine. Because you are seen to be in charge of that program. So we can't just leave it. We can't say that, okay, you don't want NBC to fine you or fine the station if they are perceived to be going wrong, or they are even seen to be going wrong. They have recordings of all these things that we see. They have it. People don't want regulations. People don't want to be, they don't want to be administered. They don't like it. They want to be free. They want to be left to roam, to just roam. They come today, they decide to say whatever they want to say about the president. They come tomorrow, they decide to call the president names. They come on Wednesday, they decide to bang on the governor on Tuesday. You see, why? Is that what criticism is about? Everything should be constructive. You don't just run ahead of yourself and start saying whatever you want to say. I'm not hailing the judgment, but it's not my. I don't know what my hailing or not hailing will do to it.
Some telecommunications subscribers expressed displeasure on Wednesday over the barring of their lines by telcos, despite having linked their national identification number with their SIM cards. The subscribers expressed their displeasure in separate interviews with the News Agency of Nigeria. Now, I remember I asked you earlier this week if if you had issues with your line.
Yes,
and I had to just check if it was just me. In fact, the whole incident formatted my brain that, oh, maybe I didn't link it before. But if I did not, it would have been blocked when they were generally blocking, and my other SIM was still linked. So I was wondering what happened. Is it that they didn't do the ICT thing very well for them to just bar our lines, even though we had connected?
Has it been this bad?
Yes,
okay, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Did you call?
To be back.
Did you call them?
They sent a message because I tried to make a call and it said I'd been banned from making calls. So I went to check my message. That's one problem. Please try as much as possible to always check your message section. I'm very, very terrible at that. So I had to go check my.
Sorry. There will be unread messages on your phone.
Yes. I don't, my phone, the setting I did to my phone is to not show notifications. And then I tend to forget to go check them. It's just a thing.
What is the thing about it?
So I went to check my message section and I saw that they sent a message that had been bad, that I didn't connect my SIM card to my NIN. So they said I should dial a certain number, which I dialed, and it directed me to dial another code. And then I had to go through the whole process to reconnect again. Yes, within a few hours I got this bad. But my question is it that the connection we did initially didn't?
No, because I wasn't bad. So, or maybe yet. I've not been bad yet. I can still make calls. I can still receive calls. Maybe there was a glitch. Really, you know this IT thing. We are just trying. We are just trying. We are working on it. You can't really say 100% about it. You can decide to malfunction or to misbehave anytime. You understand? So I think that was what happened. Some people got bad that I even linked their NIN since. I've linked my NIN. I think maybe I was one of the very first set of people
I
to
was
link it.
also.
Yes, so because it was just on the phone, you link it on the phone, just call them, then you're done. So I link it. I have linked it. So I don't think it was proper or normal. So, but it happened, and it's good that they disbarred you on time, and I'm sure they are disbarred those people who have linked it, because as we speak, some people have not linked it
At all.
Yes.
Why do people like taking a risk?
That's it. Some people, some people don't. Well, maybe some people don't still have BVN as we speak, but maybe they don't have bank accounts. Some people don't have this NIM as we speak. Some people don't have it.
I'm sorry, I don't take risk.
Some people don't have it. No matter the deadline you give Nigerians, some people are so adamant. They will tell you when they need it, they will get it. Yes, they will tell you. See, Taba Debridge cross. When we need it, when we need
Yeah,
it.
I saw some memes then that they will block it and they will unblock us.
Yes,
but I could not just take that risk.
that's some people for you. They will, no matter if the heavens are falling, they will tell you, see, when I'm ready, I'll get it done. You can't shake them. They can't be rushed. You can't rush some Nigeria.
That's a typical example of coconut heads.
No, you can't rush them. They'll tell you when we need it, we'll get it. They will always get a way around it.
Oh. Now I have a versus here. I have Bashir Ahmed saying, please advocate for a national law that mandates capital punishment as penalty for kidnapping and banditry. And Sheilo, comedian Sheilo, replies, I have tried to keep mum this year, but every day some forms of foolishness float to my timeline, and it is making it difficult. This is one of the usual who had access to the presidency, but advocated this until he had been thrown into an ocean of wisdom from the seat of power. Young people who are given opportunities end up in sinking sand of corruption like Beta Edu that we start wondering if only the clamoring for youth inclusion is really worth it. The works of several years ruined with this scale of massive greed in less than 6 months. One, okay, they are calling you thief. Okay, one pay they are calling you a thief. You're dancing with a kid, baby goat. I love the progressives condemning the kidnapping outrightly and calling out the president to do something. We must hold the president to his past words in opposition. What is good for the goose is, where is it? I think I've lost it. It's good for the gander. For those doing analytic reports, don't expect the opposition to clamor for you when you fail. When you fail them, cook too, Abi. Alright. Now, our votes are not just for praises. He went and went. Now, Bashir Ahmed responds saying, they said it's the first time you ever made sense. I can see the post even made it to your pin twist. Though I can't entirely agree with them, still congratulations on making sense to them for the first time. Do it tomorrow and next. And then Sheila responds, Bashir, it's one thing to be foolish and it's another thing to be completely alright. Now, the fact that you work on your brains and then it goes on and on and on and on and on. But one thing I picked up from this whole verse was, okay, I picked up two, but the first thing is Sheila saying that Mr. Bashir Ahmed could have advocated for this when he was working with the past administration, but he didn't say anything, and now he's all of a sudden vocal. Am I being biased by picking
No,
out?
no, you're not being anything. But it's just funny when we begin to colorize this bandage. It does not have any color. It is not a political party. See, kidnappers have kidnapped PDP members. They have kidnapped APC members. They have kidnapped even people who are not even involved in politics. They have kidnapped them. They have kidnapped from the southwest. They have kidnapped from the northwest. They have kidnapped Christians. They have kidnapped Muslims. So I do not understand where all this polarization is coming from. You were there, you did not talk about it. Now we are talking about the progressives are condemning. They should not condemn. No, they should say that it's good how people are being kidnapped and killed, how villages and communities are being sacked by bandits. No, they should say that, okay, because they are the ones in power, it's good. This thing this banter does not interest me. If they like, let them begin to break their necks on. That is their business. What we are talking about here is insecurity. He does not know whether you are young or you are old. He does not know your gender, nor your color, nor your religion or region. He doesn't care about your political party. What are we what are we talking about, for crying out loud? You were there, you didn't talk about it. Now you have found your voice. Oh, these ones are condemning, this one are that's I don't know. Let me not say it. But it's not good. It's not good. Let's all join hands and mouths to condemn what is condemnable. We are all at risk here. We are in the same boat. We are here together. So what is you are PDP, you are APC, you are LP, are you saying that okay, because you are PDP, you are not going, you can't be kidnapped or you can't be killed? We have to forget about these things sometimes. Let's forget about all these divisions sometimes. And let's come together to talk. When we leave the table, then we can begin to break ourselves again. But when we come together to talk about issues that are affecting us together, let us forget who is who. You are Bashir, you are Law, you are Kule Law, you are whatever you are, whoever you are, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Does the gun know who is who? Does the IED know who is here? What are we talking about? Look at the explosion here in Ibadan. Do you know the people that died? You want to tell me, okay, they were just Christians, or they were just Muslims, or they were just Northerners or Southwesterners that died? You can't say that. We can't say that. People died. We want to protect people. We need security for every one of us. So I don't care if you were a spokesman before, if you talked about it before, if you were in power before, if you are talking about it now. I am not interested. Please, Tony.
Now our boys are playing at the AFCON 2023, and there's a lot of tension. You want them to win and stay and bring back the cup. And watching the matches can be quite trying for a lot of football fans. I am not so much into football, but I am wishing them well. Now, Mr. Bashir still has something to say about our boys. He said the current Super Eagles team lacks the teamwork and commitment of previous Super Eagles we used to watch while growing up. They were so dedicated and selfless players. These ones we watch now seem too focused on individual play, trying to accomplish everything all alone. This Mr. Bashir, is he just out to just be talking? Because I feel like the boys are trying. Yes, people condemn them, but I mean, with the comments I saw on how they played yesterday, there were positive comments for the boys and how well they did during the match yesterday. Besides, whose fault is it if our players now are not like the players we watched growing up?
I think that is where we should go. Yes, they are playing well, they are not playing. I don't even know if you are playing well. Because I don't even know. Football is not my thing. No, but growing up, I thought I liked to watch it. You understand?
Yeah, I get that feeling.
I thought I liked it. But the day I knew it was not for me was the day I broke the glass because we lost. So no, we scored. I was happy. So I threw that glass. And my mommy she beat me. So and eventually we lost that game. That game that made me break the glass.
It wasn't even a win.
No, it wasn't. We eventually lost the game. I think this was maybe if I'm right, that 1994 World Cup. I think that was it. So that time we watched into the night. I thought I was a football fan, but later I realized that it wasn't for me because I did not even understand it in the first place. I don't even know when to play penalty. I don't know what is a free kick. I'm not interested. Don't laugh. That is just me. I'm not a football person. But see, we have over the years, we have seen this way. I don't want to use the word deteriorate, but it comes close. We have seen the interest deteriorate. We have seen the commitment deteriorate. Then all these clubs were not as pronounced
As
as we have them now. And even if they were pronounced, maybe I wasn't a football person, I didn't know much about them. All these foreign clubs that are paying our boys madly now, they weren't that, I think they weren't
yeah,
that much.
I didn't.
Yes,
Know
we just knew there were we knew there were state clubs like the Gateway Boys, there was the Yimba FC, Shooting Stars, Quara, all those ones, and which was still they were still indigenous, they were still us. You are still playing for your state, just as you will go and play at the national level for your country, at the international level now for the country. But sometimes even region you prefer. But then all of a sudden we just started hearing all these football clubs, and we started opening our eyes to how much they were paying weekly.
How much?
Money per match. And you will hear that, you will get that, and once when you even decide to even play for your country, you come back home and you begin to fight for your money, and you begin to hear that some people have misappropriated the money you were supposed to get had been paid long ago, but you are still there. There was a time they even went on strike. They didn't want to go and play because they were waiting to be paid. They insisted that okay, they would get their money first before they would go and play. It had happened before. So what are we talking about? What are we saying exactly? Okay, I have a club that is going to pay me if I sustain as little as a bruise on my leg. And you think I'm going to?
I'm not gonna think twice. I'm so sorry.
Come on, it's common sense now. It's common sense. They don't even fight to be picked to play for Nigeria. They don't even fall over themselves to play for Nigeria. They don't even. We are the ones that are even happy now that Mikel. See, and Mikel is just strolling in. He's doing you a favor, a huge favor, to come and play, to come and wear your jersey. Because how much are you even going to pay him? So he's going to be very careful not to sustain any unnecessary injury.
Yeah, don't ruin my career and my money.
He's going to be very extra careful. What are you saying? And again, they feel okay. I don't want to pass. I want to try and score by myself because that gets me more. See, it's all about the money for everybody now. It's all about the money for them. They are playing. Some people are stealing their money. So is it not better for them to play and get their money?
Their actual money.
Their actual money. And when you are not ready, they get to where they are treated like kings and queens that they are. You are asking for patriotism and now what national commitment? Are you committed to them? Are you committed to them? We know some of them that were promised heaven and earth years ago. Some of them are still being owed by the government houses that they were promised. So is it that house now that they are living in? Let's be sincere with ourselves now. And okay, if we want our football to progress, what other thing is progressing? Okay, can football now just stand out and begin to do well when our healthcare is in comatose? We are asking for state of emergency on security. Our education is
standing on one leg.
Is he even standing on any leg? Is he not sitting or lying down flat? Even the economy. So what are we talking about? So it's not football you want to focus on, as if football is even the only sport in the country.
Yeah, I mean our basketball players are really.
As if football is the only sport we have in the country.
Now, footballer Victor Boniface had an injury and was replaced. Now, someone responded, injury where I get every Sunday. Now, him this one carry walking stick. And then he responded, amen, you will get him next Sunday. Someone said, all these injuries where they carry everything for Omonly, whatever, field. And I go still play match. Now, him this one carry walking stick. And then he responded again, you see this particular one, by the grace of God, you go carry him. I don't know why Nigerians are trolling this guy for his injury. This trolling culture, I think we are doing too much in this Nigeria.
We are not doing too much. So far as you are not threatening someone or being abusive. It's a troll, you troll. That's what social media. That's what social media is about. Once you put, maybe he put himself there.
Yes, sir.
He put the picture there, expecting people to comment on the picture, and people commented. You can't expect it all to be positive. You can't expect it all to be commiseratory. Yeah, sorry, you sympathize. No, 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 no. Some people will come for you. Once you put yourself out there, you have lost the control of what people say, except you block comments. But if you put yourself there, are people really going to block comments? Do people block comments when they put themselves out there? They want to hear. Some do, yes, but some really want to hear what people say about them. They don't know that they don't have the thick skin. They don't know that they don't have thick skin not to get angry or offended. Because this one is already angry. Because they are not sympathizing with him. They are not telling him sorry.
A clergyman, Pastor Nosike, has told his church members that their January salary is for him and not for the church. The pastor claimed he's not afraid of backlash and criticism, stressing that their first income belongs only to him. He said that if his followers consider him as their spiritual father, they should present him with their first income of the year. In the video, he said, this month's salary is your first fruit of the year. It is for me. This month's first salary is your first fruit. It is for me, not for the church. I want to challenge you by the Spirit of God. I fear nobody and I fear no criticism. If you call me your spiritual father, this month's salary is your first fruit of the year. It is for me, not for the church. Why are
you not doing your voice like that? Were you
now I watched the video, so I need to, so that you feel it. It is for this altar, it is for this oracle, it is for this vessel. This one God has prepared. It is for my welfare. If you honor me with the first fruit of your first year, by the middle of this year, if you don't testify, come back. I will give it back to you. You will see wonders. Covenant with my spirit. Paul said, though I be absent, but I am present in the spirit. I've judged you. I may not be visible to you, but I am watching in the realms. This year, I'm going to show you mysteries in the scriptures. The men who got used to a men of realms, and God is restoring the realms. Glory. So now, for the members in this church, they have to drop their first salary to the church. Now, when they drop it, he said by the middle, if they don't see. So before middle, how are they going to survive this January that has like 78 days?
Middle of the year.
Like he said, by middle they will see.
Middle of what?
Of the year.
Say they will not collect February salary.
But how will they survive this? You know the January. You know how fast.
I know the January.
if they now drop January, how long will February now be? It's just 20.
I don't know why you have a problem with this. Are you a member of this church? Don't pity them. You don't pity anyone. Okay. See, let me tell you something. These things, you can't really pin them. Especially when they call it things of the spirit. You don't want to even go there. See, you have the liberty to choose. He's not forcing them at all. He's not saying if you don't, I will arrest you, I will send you out of the church. No. And you don't even know if that's how they do yearly. You do not know. So if there are members in that church, if it's not working for them, they will not be there. If they pay by the middle of the month that I gave them, they get blessed. Day of the year, they get blessed, they will do it again next year. True. And those who do it and don't see any result, they will decide if they are going to try again next year or not. I honestly do not have a problem with this one, except he's breaking any law. which is not known to me. But if by his actions or utterances he has broken any kind of law known to the Constitution, then maybe they should go and arrest him and maybe caution him. But if not, he is talking to his members, to his children. Remember, Pastor Adebisi also said at that time that he was talking to his children when he talked about marriage at the time. He said he was talking to his children, not to everybody. So this man is talking to his church members that believe in his calling. They believe he is their father. They believe in the spirituality of his head on them. So they have the right, they have the liberty to choose if they are going to donate their January salary or not, or even more. I don't have a problem with
how your strength can carry.
Yes, I don't have any problem with his declaration. He's talking to his children.
Sheon Kuti has said that in his belief, only the poor will attain heaven. He argued that adherents of present religions like Christianity and Islam who have bank accounts and savings may not make it to heaven because they don't embrace the idea of Jesus coming now by saving for the future. As a self-proclaimed Juju worshipper, Kuti expressed the view that most Nigerians, being poor, would be eligible for heaven, highlighting that only a fraction of the country's population, around 48 million out of 200 million, have bank accounts. He said, when people try to preach to me, oh, Sheon, you have to give your life to Christ, I always ask them this question: do you have a bank account? If you do, you are just like me. Anywhere they go when I die is where you're going. Because to believe in Jesus Christ is not to believe in a man or a personality. There are doctrines behind it. You must believe in the death and resurrection. Christianity and Islam are religions of now, the immediate. Everything is based on the premise that everything will end now. Jesus is coming now. If you don't believe that Jesus is coming now, then you are not a real Christian. But all of you who believe Jesus Christ is coming now, you have bank accounts for tomorrow. You are saving for tomorrow. That means you don't believe in Jesus Christ. In Jesus Christ is coming. I don't know where in the Bible it is that saving means you're not believing in God and you're not believing that Jesus is coming. But what's your take on this?
I don't have a take on it. See, I don't like talking about people's beliefs. I do not. I can only propagate my own belief. I can tell you about it. I can't even force you to share my belief. So that is Sean's belief. Why are you saving for tomorrow? Really? And if you look in the Bible tells us too that don't worry about tomorrow.
Tomorrow will take care of itself.
Tomorrow will take care of itself. But here we are today. We sit here, we are planning what we are going to cook tomorrow. We are saving. To what? Some people have savings for the next 10, 20 years. They have saved it. Some single ladies or boys are saving for the education of their children already. Yes, they have the fund. They have the trust fund or education fund or what's it called. They have it. They are saving for the children that they have not married, but they're already saving for their children's education. It's good. That's planning. But does it negate the word of Christ? Does it negate your belief? That is now for you to decide. So that is Shim's belief, and he's expressing himself there. My take.
A Nigerian skit maker identified as Churchill has reportedly died while filming a stunt for his video content. I watched the video and the young man jumped to touch a basketball net and then he hit his head and he wasn't moving. It shows again how fickle life is. 1 minute you're here, the next
you're there.
Well, I pray so rest in peace.
And it also calls for caution.
Yeah.
It calls for caution. See, all these kids, we have talked about some of the extremes of these kids. Some people do it such that you are so annoyed. Sometimes you just ask, sometimes you just look at them and you pity them Because the day is going they will run out of luck. And that's it. Now one would ask him, this guy that died now, is he a basketballer or was he a basketballer? Hmm? Because if he was a basketballer, he would know how to jump and not hit his head. Because this is what they do every time. They jump. And I have never heard any report of a basketballer jumping and hitting. Did he hit it up or down?
The ball,
The head.
his head was, he hit it down on the floor.
He fell.
Yeah, let me
So I think his hand slipped on the net and he fell down, hit his head on the ground, and died. I'm not sure he was a professional footballer.
He wasn't even dressed in an outfit.
So what is this for? What was it even?
He wasn't even playing a basketball.
What was he doing? He was timing himself. I don't even
know. Maybe he wanted to check how high he could go.
How high he could jump. He now fell and it's sad, really. It's very sad. But it calls for caution. It calls for caution. We have to be careful. All this social media will not kill somebody. Don't let social media kill you. Don't let kids kill you. He's dead and gone now. So how many viewers, how many views, how many shares, how many likes has he garnered?
Well, I'm sure it will garner a lot of views, but you know people like negative stories.
So what importance is it to him?
He's dead and gone. It's people who are here that are going to be seeing what that is for him.
It's sad.
Yes, it is. Now, a airport staff allegedly slipped drugs into the traveling bag of a traveler at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, and I saw videos of it. That the person said that's how my life would have gone, just like that. When I see for my picture everywhere, when I go see my picture everywhere for NDLA, say I dey smuggle drug for international airports. Either it is their usual operation to set people off, but no jam their match today. I mean, dem jam their match today as I begin ras the whole airport. Dem know say person dey, and I watched the video. This is the guy.
He saw him.
I think he caught him with something in his bag, and he was caught. Like, why? You just put it there to cover the person. You know him.
No. He would go and remove it. He wanted him to transport it for him unknowingly to the person. So when they get to the destination, if the bubble does not burst, then he will just go to the bag and find a way to just slip it out the way he slipped it in.
That's wicked. What if he doesn't go according to your plan and he's really caught in total his life?
If he doesn't care, it's a win-win for him. It's a win-win situation for him. At least he's not the one carrying it himself. Amen. He needed someone to just transport it for him, where he's there. And once they get there, you see him all over the place, getting into the bag and just coming out to the bag. You'll be the one to personally check that bag, so you just quickly slip it out and that one will just take his bag, unknown, unaware, oblivious of the evil that God has saved him from. But now it's good that he was caught. And that's what people say, you have to be vigilant. When you are traveling, you have to be vigilant. Don't take any note for anybody. Have you seen drugs inside tray before? Tray. Plastic tray that they share as souvenir. I saw the video.
To go party come hard.
No, it's not to go party, it's to take something for people. Ever mi gbà fún àbúrò yín ọmọ yín tó wà ní Ontario. Bá ti dé dẹ̀, ó máa wá, ó máa pàdé, let me give it to her. Wedding kìíní ta ṣe ní last week. Souvenir àti ẹ̀dílé. See, that tree, I don't know how they did it. And I don't know how the officials got to know about it. They were just banging tray like this and they said there was something in there. So, and they broke it open and they saw it. And they saw it wrapped, arranged neatly at the base base of the tree. So it's dangerous.
Schools in western Ukraine are rolling out rifle and pistol shooting practice using interactive software, the regional office said on Thursday, signaling how Russia's nearly 2 year invasion has impacted school life. Um, High school students will learn shooting on safe interactive systems at Defense of Ukraine classes. A governor said, because I can't pronounce the name, these systems are mobile and consistent of multimedia equipment, software, and samples of weapon, she said on social media. Now, school is a place where you're supposed to learn education and maybe some basic things about the society, but learning how to shoot guns so as to defend yourself and your country, that's sad. It's sad how war can change the life of everybody, both the attacking and the defending side.
Yes.
Well, I hope this ends because it's nearing its 2 year mark and there's no end in sight yet. But maybe there is and we don't know. Now I'm going to take comments from the Telegram platform. I have this very long one from Professor Adenike Ogoshe. Good morning, Aunties BC and Oluwatoni. In order to balance the story, we need to be realistic about certain issues, most especially irresponsible and archaic actions. They throw us into unnecessary hardship and sufferings in this country. For crying out loud, how many countries of the world in the 21st century would always line out their citizens in the rain and sun to register for one thing or the other? With the level of advanced technology, why should citizens get to line up as early as 4 a.m. daily, including the aged, just to register for NIN? Why why can't NIN be an ongoing exercise so that it can be easier for people to walk in and just register at their conveniences without their work, schooling, and other businesses affected? It is difficult to register at several NIN centers. Meanwhile, there are people with POS registering at an exorbitant amount. I paid such amount too after fatal attempts to register at government centers. Concerning blocking phone lines to link NIN, it is only in Nigeria that such can happen without litigations. My line was bad in November and I was at the nearest point of the subscriber, only to be told there was no network. By the third attempt, I was due to pay a certain amount. On questioning what it was for, the response was, it is to re-register, whereas I didn't lose my line. Oh. Yesterday, I was at a zonal office of the airtime subscriber that was quite far off, only to be told we were to pay over 3 times of what I was told to pay in November last year. I called to Maestro and his response that such unethical activity would be blown on air today, and my work outlets are begging for me to come back and sort the NIN issue without any payment by those of us left in the office. Now, for the mental question, what could happen to those out of the country and who would be out of the country for a while? It means they stand to forfeit their lines. However, once you buy an Oyster card in UK and you travel back to your country, all you need to do is just load credit into the card once you are back in the UK. It is therefore quite important to always resist the various slavery all over this country. Thank you and a wonderful weekend to us all. Thank you. Now I have this from Josh Annis. Beautiful morning, Auntie BC and Statoni. The biggest incentives for criminals to perpetrate crimes is three. One, they gain envisage. Three, the fact they have a chance to carry out an operation successfully. That's two. Three, the success of past operations. As long as the country keeps failing and giving the criminals the impression of a successful operation, they won't stop. And Michael Uju reacting to Stephen Badamosi, I think the reason for taking such expensive substance as the dynamite to that to an estate should be extended beyond considering the explosive as just the mining substance. I learned that the apartment was rented by an Okada rider. If it is true, why? On the whole person that was pinpointed as the owner of the explosive, kindly update me. Are there information regarding the so-called minor living in the estate? Was he in the house when the explosive happened? And Stephen said no, he wasn't. He's been declared wanted by the police. He's speaking and exonerating himself from hiding. And Mr. Adiniro says, Adiniro, successful outings of our security agents in Abuja and Benue respectively, about the outings of kidnappers are commendable. Let this operation continue when no rest is given to the best of the society to thrive. In no time, we shall get there. And on this NIN issue, really, this collecting of money to register for things that should be free is really appalling. I can't even say it's funny because it's annoying. Things you're supposed to get easily, you go and queue, and then after the queue, you still hear one story or the other to bring money. It's a dirty practice and it needs to be stopped.
Yes, and so long as people are paying them, they will continue to ask. Yeah. If you know that you are not supposed to pay, and they are asking you to pay, ask them for a receipt. Ask for a receipt. So that the moment you ask them for any receipt, they will know you are a troublemaker. They either ask you to go to someone else or they ask you to come back. So by the time you go back, you are going to meet another person that is probably not going to ask you for money because they know that you are going to be asking for a receipt. Any money you pay to get anything done, ask for the receipt. If it is illegal, they will definitely not be able to issue you a receipt. And if they issue you any receipt, we insist, is this NINC receipt? Is this the federal government receipt? Don't collect any other receipt. We should try and fight it too sometimes. But you know Nigerians too. Even if they are not asking, some Nigerians will offer. Because they don't want to stay on the queue. They don't want to wait their time. They just want it done. The moment they get there, they just told they are like, some people even want you to come to their house. So they will tell them, that's what we do.
It's time to open the phone lines 09153 Those are the lines that will lead you into the studio this morning. You can still drop your comment on the platform. We still have enough time to take them. I'll take the numbers again 08107812544 09153029992. It is now your turn to air your opinions on the stories we've taken today. Don't forget we took stories, reactions regarding the explosion that happened in Ibadan. We talked about the advice to the EFCC incorporating the arrested online fraudsters as ICT experts. We also talked about the kidnapping and banditry in Nigeria. The reaction of hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name, where you're calling from?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, comrade.
On the expression of Ibadan, it was said that the resident of that area.
Hello.
Hello.
Keep going.
Hello. Send a letter to the governor's office. Maybe the letter was not printed. That way you can have it. When somebody says, not all letters.
Please try again. We lost the call. 09153029992. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Yeah, good morning.
Your name, where you're calling from?
I'm Lawrence from the NSC. For me, personally, nothing lose more emphasis on the fact that our problem is systemic and the emergence of because then maybe it's dehumanizing. Some of us are going to do why at least whenever the man emerges, it's just really magic time. But what not just personally, highly less activity around the presidency, like painting a reality that is very colorful like that. So maybe probably somebody like that started addiction. So just like is not really that. So you shouldn't accept divine population.
Thank you. 09153029992 08107812544. You can also drop your comment on the platform, official Maestro House. That's on Telegram. Your comments can still be taken. We still have enough time to hear from you, our listeners. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. 09153029992 08107812544. Those are the numbers to call this morning to send you into the studio. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I think the network still isn't good, but keep trying, keep pressing, keep dialing. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. We can hear you. Please keep trying. 09153029992. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Boris. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm speaking on the area of the SIM card registration.
Okay.
I think this telecommunication, they need to up their game. Because most of our persons in Nigeria, they are finding it very difficult. Like me, my grandma, some weeks ago, she called me that she has done that registration. And one of going together, she has 2 lines. One of the network was that. So imagine if she doesn't have an alternative line, there will be no way she will reach out to me. So the network provider should just try. It is not because of this our person to do it. Here in Ibadan or in other times, we can chip into the office to see people, but still, it's very difficult. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
09153029992. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name, where you're calling from? All right.
It was analyzed 1 week over that residents in that area in the Bodija wrote the petition to the government office. Maybe the letter was not written, and it has made the different parties. Not all letters written to the government office are written. They should government will prove on information gathering. They should prove on it. They should not hack like an esoteric organization. We are only those who are known to them.
Hello, comrade.
Thank you.
Please, what's the newspaper outlet that reported on that so we can confirm that story? Hello, good morning. I hope he calls back to let us know that. Hello, good morning. Hello. 0915302. Hello, good morning. Please turn down the volume of your radio set. Good morning. Your name, where you're calling from?
I want to speak on the registration of some of these things, like MIN. I have my own personal experience. I went to roundabout and I was told that I had to pay 500 naira. I had to pay 500 naira for the registration, and I was registered. I was trying to put it into their office at the gate. When I got there, I was start to pay 500 naira for fuel to try to disconnect their life. I know how many options than to take because I needed this everything. So when I come up with the experiences people have, so they cannot get the same everything is just be like that. But the government should find a way to make things easy for people to register. Thank you.
Thank you. 09153029992 08107812544. Those are the numbers to call this morning. We can still take one more call. All right. Since the network hasn't been kind to us today, I think we'll just wrap up on today's edition of the TGIF Headlines. Many thanks to everyone who has been a part of the show. It's always a nice time on the show with you every Friday. We will be here next week for another beautiful edition. Thank you, Adebisi Ogunjimi, for your time.
Thank you, Tony, for having me. So good to be here with you.
Have a wonderful weekend. My name is Tony Adewe.
Bye.